Welcome everyone. Thank you so much for joining me today. My name is Colleen. I'm with Shine On Yoga. I have Sam here and then Fritz with Pumpkin Pie who just left, so they'll probably be in and out. So if you have kids or fur kids, don't worry, they're more than welcome to join. So it's a super rainy day. I'm kind of tired. I'm getting over a little bit of a sinus congestion issue. So I apologize in advance for my voice if it's not coming across as loud as we would like. But today we're going to start out really slow and we're going to build it up. It's rainy here. I'm kind of blah today. I don't know about you, but we're going to up our energy with this practice. If you'd like to grab any props, some that I recommend are blocks, bolsters, blankets. If you don't have any of those things, do not worry. You don't necessarily need them. I'll give you some alternatives. All right, so for today, we're going to start out lying flat on our back. So we're just going to start out nice and low to the ground. Hello, Fritz. So stretch your legs out long. You can rest your arms on your body or out at your sides, or you can use them to keep dogs or kids off of you, whatever you need to do. Just let everything go, relax. And if it feels safe in your body, you can also close down the eyes. We're going to take a minute here just to breathe, to relax, to let go of anything that's just not serving us. Take one more big inhale here. And then exhale, sigh it out. From here, we'll go ahead and bring one knee in towards your chest. So I'm going to bring in my left leg just so I can show you. And then from here, see if you can grab the outer edge of that left foot. Now, if you can't, you can grab the inner arch, maybe your ankle, maybe the back of your thigh. Play with it and see what works well for you and your body. If you are grabbing onto the outer edge, from here we're going to kick the sole of that foot up towards the sky. You're going to feel a nice big hip opening on your left hand side. Again, if this is not in your practice, you can grab an ankle, you can grab behind the shin, and then you can bend or straighten it as much as you need to. So once you're in this half happy baby, take a few moments here to breathe as we open up. From here, we'll place our right foot firmly on the mat. Keep that knee bent. We're going to release our left foot and then go ahead and cross that left ankle over the right knee. So we're going to go into a little figure four stretch. Now for some, you might want to stay here. For others, let's lift our right leg up. Keep that shin parallel to the floor and maybe you stay here. If you'd like a little more, you can thread the needle. Bring your hands through those legs and you can just clasp them behind that right thigh. Maybe pull in those legs a little bit closer to your center. If feeling a little bit more stretch on that outer left thigh. Or if you'd like a little more, you can come across the top of your right shin. Pull those knees in a little bit closer. So play with it, see what feels good to you. Take a few moments to breathe here. And once you're ready, we'll release everything back to the mat. You can uncross the legs. We'll stretch our left leg out and bring our right leg in towards our chest. Now from here, we're going to go into that half happy baby again. So I'm going to grab the outer edge of my right foot. Again, you can grab the inner arch, the ankle, behind the knee, whatever works for you. And when you have what you're going to grab, go ahead and kick that leg up towards the sky, sole of the foot, feeling that nice big hip opening on the other side. Take a few breaths here. And when you're ready, we're going to do the same thing we did on the other side. So go ahead and bring your left foot flat on the mat, knee bent. We'll cross our right ankle over our left thigh. And then again, maybe you stay here. If you want a little more, maybe we lift that foot up, shin parallel to the floor. Like a little more, you can grab behind that left thigh, pulling those knees in closer to your chest. Or maybe around the front of the shin. Go ahead and take some nice big breaths here. And after your next exhale, go ahead and release the feet to the mat. We'll go ahead and bring those knees in towards your chest. To give yourself a little hug here, you can roll around on the mat if you'd like. And from here, we're going to just start rocking and rolling. So just rock up and down the spine, until you come up to a seat. And you may have to do it a few times to get there, but that's okay. It's a really good little massage on your spine. And then once you're in a comfortable position, go ahead and come into a nice comfortable seat. Nice little cross-legged comfortable seat, I should say. If you'd like to sit up on anything, you're more than welcome to, but we're not going to be here for long. So we're going to twist out the spine just a little bit. I'm going to take my left hand and just place it on my right knee. The right fingers are going to just swim around behind me. On an inhale, sit up nice and straight and tall. On the exhale, go ahead and twist towards the right. Inhale, maybe you sit up a little taller. And then exhale, maybe you twist a little further. Don't use that left hand to pull you into the position. It's really only there for support. Keep your chest nice and lifted. We're just going to breathe here for a little bit. Take one more big inhale here. And then exhale, we'll return to center. Take a breath here, compare both sides, see how you're feeling. And then when you're ready, we're going to move to the other side. So right hand to left knee, left fingertips are going to swing around behind. Inhale, sitting up nice and straight and tall. Exhaling, moving into the twist on that left side. Inhaling, maybe sitting up a little bit taller. And then on your next exhale, maybe journeying a little bit further into that twist. And then we'll just take a few breaths here, feeling everything out. Take one more big inhale. And then exhale. We'll come back to center. All right. We're going to keep on with the spinal flexion. Go ahead and come to all fours. So a nice little tabletop position here. Knees underneath your hips, hands underneath your shoulders, feet firmly planted into the mat. Just the tops of your feet, I guess. And we're going to do a little cat-cow. So on an inhale, we're going to drop those lower ribs, lift the tail, lift the head, look forward, feel a nice big stretch in our front body. And then on the exhale, we're going to round the spine, tuck the tail, tuck the head, press away from the mat, feel a nice big stretch in the back body for cow. Inhale, we'll come into a cat, feeling that nice front body stretch. And then exhale, we'll round into cow, or cat, sorry. Do a few more just on your own inhales and exhales. If something feels better to you than something else, here, so if breathing for a few breaths in cat pose feels really good in your body, go ahead and do it. Wherever you're at, do one more round. And then after that round, we'll return it to a nice neutral tabletop position. From here, let's bring our knees as wide as the mat, big toes to touch. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, sink those hips back towards the heels. Walk your fingertips forward, melt your heart and your head to the mat. Extended child's pose. Take a few breaths here. Wherever you're at, take one more round of breath and then meet me back in that tabletop position. All right, I hope you're ready to move. So once you're in your tabletop position, we'll look at your hands. We're going to walk them one handprint in front of where they were. So your hands won't directly be under your shoulders. Now I am wearing socks. My feet are very cold. If you're wearing socks, be very careful. Might have a little grip on them, so I'm not going to take them off, but if you feel yourself slipping or anything like that and you are wearing socks, I encourage you to take them off. All right, we'll tuck our toes under, take a nice inhale here. And then on your exhale, press away from the mat, lift those knees up off the mat, straighten through the legs, let those heels grow heavy, press away from the mat. And we're in our first downward facing dog of practice today. If you'd like to walk your dog, bend one knee and then the other, just feeling a nice stretch through those calf muscles. When you're ready, you can bring that to stillness. Again, let those heels grow heavy. Feet can be hip width apart, or you can have them close together, yogi's choice. All right, when you're ready, we'll plant that left foot into the mat. Lift the right foot up off the mat, toe style down. Take a nice big inhale. Exhale, bend that knee in towards your chest. Shift forward, look forward. We're going to step that right foot in between our hands, lower on to that left knee. You can keep your toes tucked or untucked, yogi's choice. And then from here, we're going to loop the shoulders up and back, look forward for our low lunge. Now, in this first low lunge, make sure that you're in a nice 90-degree angle with your leg. Your knee shouldn't be coming over that ankle. And pull that right hip crease back, left hip crease forward, nice and lifted in your chest. If you need a little assistance, blocks are great for this. You can bring them down to either side and just bring the floor up to you so that way you maintain that lift in your chest and that openness. Breathe. When you're ready, start to straighten through that right foot. Shift the hips back. We're going to walk our fingertips back. Peel those toes up off the mat. Keep your foot nice and bright. Keep pulling that right hip crease back. You're going to feel a nice big stretch in your hamstring. Keep breathing here. Keep the chest lifted. One more breath. And then exhale, we'll walk it forward back into that low lunge. Go ahead and tuck those right or those left toes under. Lift that left knee up off the mat. We're going to firmly plant our left palm to the mat. And then from here, we're going to lift our right hand up to the sky, coming into a little twist here. Keep breathing. When you're ready, we'll lower the right hand down, but instead of coming to the outside of our right foot, we'll bring it to the inside of our right foot. And then we'll walk our right foot to the edge of the mat. Let those right toes spill up off the mat. Keep looking forward, and we're in a little lizard variation. Now you can stay with your right or your left leg lifted, or you can bring that knee down to the mat. Again, yogi's choice. Keep breathing here. If that knee is lowered, go ahead and lift it. We're going to step our right toes back to meet our left. We're coming into our first plank. Now you can stay up in this full plank, or you can lower to your knees and come into a half plank. Either way, make sure you're pressing away from the floor. Make sure your hips aren't dipping too far down or too far up. Nice straight line, and we'll breathe. While Fritz harasses me. One more breath. And on your exhale, lower all the way down to your belly. You can untuck the toes. Take a little breath here. When we're ready, walk your hands underneath your shoulders. Tuck those elbows into the sides. And on an inhale, slowly rise up, look forward. Little baby cobra here. Breathe. And when you're ready, exhale. Lower the forehead to the mat. Go ahead and press yourself back up to all fours. We'll tuck our toes under, take a nice inhale here. And then on the exhale, we'll make our way into downward facing dog. Take a few breaths. You can pedal it out. We're going to do that same little ditty on the other side. But since you know it a little bit better, we'll move a little bit faster. All right, when you're ready, let's plant our right foot to the mat. We'll lift those left toes up on an inhale. Exhale, bend the knee in towards your chest, shift forward, look forward. We'll step that left foot in between our hands, lower down onto that right foot, and then set yourself up for your version of low lunge. Again, pull that left hip crease back, right hip crease forward. Make sure you've got a nice 90-degree angle. Chest is nice and lifted. Breathe. When you're ready, we'll peel that hip crease back, Peel those toes up off the mat. Coming into a hamstring stretch on the left side. Breathe again. Exhale, walk it forward. Look forward. We'll plant the right palm. Tuck the right toes under, lift the right knee up, and then we'll lift our left fingers to the sky, coming into a twist. Breathe. After your next exhale, we'll lower that left hand to the mat on the inside of our left foot. Let's walk our left foot to the outer edge of our mat. Turn those left toes off the mat. Again, that right leg can be lifted or you can lower it, coming into a little lizard variation. Breathe wherever you're at. So nice big hip openers. All right, when you're ready, if your right foot or your right leg is lowered, go ahead and tuck those right toes, lift that right leg up. We'll step our left foot back to meet our right, coming into our second plank of today. Breathe. And on your next exhale, we'll lower all the way down to the belly. Let everything go. Your next inhale, rise up until your little baby cobra, or if you'd like a little bit more, press to the mat, lift up a little higher into full cobra. Now, if you have any crunchiness in your back, if this does not feel good, lower down. You don't have to come up as high. Also, make sure you're not wearing your shoulders as earrings. Pull those shoulder blades back and down like you're pinching a pencil in between them. Really open up your heart here. Breathe. And then we'll lower it back down. Now we're going to move into downward facing dog, so you can either come through all fours with me again, or like we did before, or you can come with me and I'm going to show you a different version. So if you're coming with me, we're going to let everything go from that cobra. Take a nice big inhale here. And on the exhale, we're going to press away from our mat, come back up to the top of our plank pose. Take another breath here. And then on your exhale, we'll lift our hips up and back. Let those heels grow heavy. Downward facing dog. Take a few breaths here. Breathe. After your next exhale, look forward at your hands. We're going to make our way up to the top of the mat. So I like to take little baby steps. You can take bigger steps if you'd like. Keep a slight bend in your knees. On your next inhale, come up halfway. Keep a nice flat back. Exhale, let it go. Forward fold. Again, you can always use blocks here to bring the ground up to you. Or if you don't have blocks, just bend your knees as generously as you'd like. That way you get all of these great benefits. Keep breathing here. Now on your next exhale, we're going to slowly roll it all the way up until we're standing. We're going to come into our nice mountain pose. So go ahead and take a moment, get any wiggles out, shake out the legs, shake out the hands, make any adjustments you need to. And then when you're ready, come into stillness. Hands at the side, standing up nice and tall. Breathe. Your eyes can be closed or opened. Mountain pose is great for if you're feeling any anxiety. It's really nice if you can go outside without shoes or socks on and do this pose in the ground to really ground yourself and your body. Let's take one more inhale here. And then exhale, let it go. All right. On an inhale, let's lift our arms up to the sky. And then from here, we're going to grab our left wrist with our right hand. Take a nice inhale here. And then on the exhale, we're going to bump our hips over to the left as we lean over to the right, feeling a nice big stretch in our left side body. Just breathe here. When you're ready, come back to center. We're going to switch our grip, so left hand around our right wrist. Take a nice big inhale here. And on the exhale, we'll shift our hips over to the right and lean over to the left, feeling a nice big stretch in our right side body. And breathe. When you're ready, we'll return to center. Let that all go. Whew. We're going to get ready to go through another flow. So I'm going to make my way to the top of my mat again. On an inhale, let's reach for the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come up halfway, nice flat back. Exhale, let it go. Take a moment here to breathe. Now from our forward fold, start to bend your knees super generously. Let your torso come to the top of your knees as you bend, 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 bend. Start to lift your chest up. We're coming into a little chair pose. Imagine you're sitting back in a chair. Weight is going to really be in your heels. You can lift your toes up off the mat if you'd like to play with this. Let that tailbone grow long. And then your hands can be at your heart, or you can reach them forward for your chair pose here. So a nice big strengthening move. Breathe. One more breath here. And then exhale, lower your hands to the mat. We'll step our left foot back. Go ahead and lower onto that left leg or that left knee. We're back in our low lunge again. Breathe here. All right, when you're ready, go ahead and plant your palms. We'll tuck those left toes under, lift that left knee up off the mat. We'll step our right foot back to meet our left for another plank. Breathe here. One more big inhale. Exhale, lower to the belly. Inhaling for cobra. Take a pause, breathe, feel that stretch. Lower it back down on your next exhale, and then from here I'll meet you in downward facing dog, either through all fours or through plank. Once you're in your downward facing dog, take a moment here just to breathe. After your next exhale, look forward at your hands. We're going to make our way back up to the top of the mat. Once you're there, on your next inhale, come up halfway, flat back. Exhale, let it go, forward fold. Take a moment here to breathe. And we're going to do that same little ditty on our left side. All right, we're going to move into chair pose. So go ahead and start to generously bend those knees. Let your torso come to the top of those knees. When you're ready, we'll start to lift the chest up. Keep those knees bent. Keep the weight back in the heels. Lengthen through that tailbone. Hands can be at the heart. You can stretch them forward, whatever works for you. Coming into your version of chair. Breathe here. And when you're ready, we'll lower the hands to the mat. Let's step the right foot back. You can come onto that right knee if you'd like, and we're going to come into a little low lunge on this other side. Pull that left hip crease back, right hip crease forward. Breathe here. All right, when you're ready, plant the palms. We're going to make our way back into one final plank. So we'll lift our right knee up off the mat. We'll step our left foot back to meet the right. Make this your best plank yet. One more breath here. And then exhale, we'll lower it all the way down to the mat. Inhale up for cobra. Take a few breaths here. One more breath. Then we'll lower it down. From here, go ahead and come up to all fours. Knees as wide as the mat, big toes to touch. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, child's pose. Take a breath here. After a few moments of breathing, go ahead and come back up. We're going to swing our legs around to one side. We're going to make our way back down onto the mat. And we're going to kind of come full circle. We're going to go back into happy baby. Instead of half happy baby, we're going to do full happy baby. So I don't know if you remember that from the beginning. So we'll make our way to our back. Your knees can be bent. Feet on the floor for a moment. Let your lower back lengthen. Make sure it feels nice and flush with the mat. Pull those abs in. When you're ready, we'll bring one knee in and then the other. And then from here, you can choose where you want to hold on. If you want to hold on to the outer edges of the feet, the inner arches of the feet, maybe the ankle, maybe just the back of the thighs, whatever feels good to you. And then we're going to kick one foot up towards the sky and then the other. Coming into a happy baby. Lengthen that tailbone down. You can take any movement that feels intuitive, bending one knee, straightening a leg, rocking back and forth, whatever feels good to you. Keep breathing here. One more big inhale. Exhale, let it go. We'll release the feet to the mat. Let one leg fall out long and away, and then the other. Let your hands fall out wide at your sides. Let everything go. We're moving into our final posture, which is Shavasana. If you'd like to use any props, you feel free to grab them. If it feels safe to close down the eyes, you can. If it doesn't, just soften your gaze. You're going to take a moment here to breathe. Now I am going to go quiet for a moment just so you can enjoy your Shavasana. But I will be back shortly to guide you out of this practice. The card I pulled for today's practice is Owl Spirit. And its message is, you see clearly now. Owl Spirit arrives to remind you that the wisdom within you is informed by your keen senses and the wisdom within the consciousness we all share. Even in the darkest night, the owl sees clearly and is guided by every sense it has, including the first sense of intuition. Right now, your sensitivities are turbocharged, and you are receiving messages from all directions. Owl Spirit reminds you to be wise and pay attention to what's between the lines, what is invisible to the naked eye, what cannot be heard with the ears, and what others may not be able to perceive. With all your senses aroused, you have much knowledge available to you. Clarity will come as you sit with all that you are sensing, allowing your intuition to guide you in understanding the whole and not just the parts. Let your wisdom arise and be your guide as you trust the acuity of all your senses. Intuition is real and can provide the clarity you need to understand your situations right now. Your relationship, your finances, your job, whatever it is, you can see the truth clearly now. If you'd like to stay in Shavasana, then go ahead and stay as long as time allows you. If you need to continue on with your day, then slowly start to deepen your breaths. When you're ready, begin to wiggle fingers and toes. From there, you can place one foot on the mat and then the other, just keeping the knees bent. And whenever you feel ready, go ahead and roll over to your favorite side. Come into a little fetal position and just stay there for a moment. Take a few nice big inhales and exhales. Finally, whenever you feel ready, go ahead and press yourself up to a nice comfortable seat, bringing your head and neck up last. If your eyes are still closed, you can start to flutter them open back to the room around you. I want to thank you so much for sharing your time and your energy with me and your practice. I hope you found it beneficial, that we worked out some kinks and that you have a little bit more energy while still feeling strong. I will be back next week with a brand new practice, so I hope to see you then. Namaste.